What the heck is this stuff? Well, it's plastic. And where does it come from? Well, let's get into it. Here's where it came from. So, what is this? It looks pretty bad. Yep, it's a Heathkit IP-18 power supply. I've done several videos on this. I've done a teardown and full rebuild and restore, and I've done a rekit video and a couple of others all on this. So I have a couple of these, and now I have yet another one. This one I found at a hamfest in the parking lot tailgate area, where some guy obviously had found this in someone's estate, unfortunately for them, and it was in a box of other stuff, and it looked homely. Obviously, the top is in incredibly rough condition, but the rest of it actually looked decent. In fact, the fact that the line cord came exactly like this, wrapped in a Velcro, sounded promising, and it was nice and flexible. Plus, the knobs turned smoothly, so that's a good sign, and the little switch seemed to work. So, what the hell? Uh, a very short negotiation later, it was mine. Then I took it home. Oh boy, of course the feet came off. I assume the feet are missing. Nope, the foot's still here. Um, and I took it home, and I've already taken the screws off, and I opened it up, and what fell out? Well, shards of plastic. And I know this power supply well enough that there shouldn't be anything plastic falling out of it. There's nothing that looks like that, or so I thought until I opened it up. And then this is what I found. Okay, so it looks like someone who built this thing, except then take a close look, and gee, something's wrong with that paper, that plastic encased paper capacitor. It seems to have blown its guts open. And not just that one, but its little friend down here. Uh, Remind me not to buy any from the Ritchie Electronics Corporation brand capacitor, presumably of the 1960s. It's blown apart too, and that's where the shards of plastic came from. There's another shard. Okay, so this is why you don't plug in anything you find that's vintage and totally untested and so forth. I have no idea what condition, obviously, other than exploded, these capacitors are in, or what would happen if I had plugged it in. I obviously have never plugged it in yet. So, just for fun, let's pull these. Let's take these capacitors out. I'm just gonna clip this guy out, and for good measure, we'll take this guy out. It's certainly not going to be running this until I restore it or otherwise deal with it. Here we go. Down here. Ah, there we go. Perfect. So apart from that, while we're here, the rest of the thing looks decent. There's a little Zener diode there. There's some transistors. There's an FET there. That looks okay. Nothing obvious. The knobs turn rather smoothly. This knob looks like it's got a little shmoo on it. That'll have to come off. In fact, speaking of that, the knobs come off. Because if they don't come off, yeah, this one does. And this one does too, so that's good. Inserts, all good. Smooth operating knobs. The Actually, this actually doesn't look like it was very. This is pretty nicely built. Notice the wires are nice, and this has obviously never been opened. No one has ever been in here since it was built, and I like that. So these wires are nicely run. There's our flying resistor, just like it was on all the other units I've dealt with. This is a very early model because it doesn't have, I believe it's a 10 microfarad capacitor that normally goes from here to here. That's missing here. And of course, this one has no fuse, which would normally be in there connected to the on-off switch, which is not really where you want a fuse. So this is clearly, plus the vintageness of some of these other caps here lead me to believe that this is fairly original from the first, probably with like the first production run or something. And then we have our cardboard electrolytic here. I won't even bother cutting this out right now, not worth it. But I'm hoping the transformer works. It probably does. Hopefully it hasn't been blown out. We'll check that. But I really wanted to just show why you don't want to plug in vintage electronics before you've had a chance to check it out. Just for fun. Let's have a look at our capacitors here. Here, this guy looks, needle's not, needle's moving a tiny bit. You can't see it, but I can see it. The needle's moving just a little. So it's not 100% open, but it's pretty close. And this guy here, there's any needle left here. Yeah, there it is. And similarly, he's not going anywhere either. So these guys are open, or nearly open. But I don't know how this happened. 2522, that's probably the Heathkit part number that Ritchie Electronics manufactured this for and labeled it for Heathkit. It's a 250 at 30 volts. That sounds odd, but I'll believe, yeah, I think that's what the original kit had. I'll have to look. And this one, oh, also Ritchie Electronics, and the part number is totally gone. Okay. So, what's going to happen to this guy? It's not going to be done in this video, but this will have one of two fates awaits this. Either it will be fully restored, and it's a pretty good candidate for that, because otherwise, other than the top panel, which is a mess, cosmetically, the front panel is in very, very nice condition. So that's very nice, and everything else is fine. The top panel is a disaster. It means I'm going to need to go buy a brand new bottle of paint stripper, the heavy duty kind, and take this completely down to bare metal, and then spray it with my favorite Heathkit color. So that's this little hamfest find, and I thought you'd want to see why you don't plug in antique electronics before you've had a chance to check it out.